Hey folks, if you're looking at going on the next listing appointment, let me tell you, I have been on hundreds and hundreds of listing appointments, and these are 9 things I want you to be prepared for when you meet with somebody so that you know exactly what to do and what to say, and so you can have a good response. Folks, I've written down these points so that you can understand and just give you a quick dynamic of these things. But number 1 is, hey, what's your experience? Folks, even if you have no experience or a ton of experience, you need to bring who you are and what you bring to the table. If your experience is you're very great at working with people and you're very good at communicating and negotiating, you bring that. If you have a number of sales, bring the sales data with you. 2, how does your experience fit my needs? How do you find that out? You need to ask more questions up front. You're going to do a preliminary call before you come out and just ask them more about what they're looking for. How can you best help? What are the things I can best assist you with, right? 3, what's your communication style? Folks, they're kind of understand like what is the best way that they're going to be able to communicate with you. Is it call? Is it text? Is it email? Is it going to be face-to-face because you're dealing with maybe an estate sale or somebody that's maybe an older person? So make sure you're understanding that you may get that question and how are you going to answer that? 4, what do you think this home can sell for? Folks, that is going to be the number 1 question. If they come out the gates with what is this going to sell for? It may not be the right person, but that's because they only want the price and they need to know the value you bring in order to help them sell it, okay? So make sure that you're making and you're bringing with you comparative market analysis, average days on market. You understand the neighborhood and area. Maybe you've had to call or do some research in addition to just bringing those sales. So just when they say what's the value, bring information, but also bring value, bring a true depth to that property, okay? That's gonna really separate you from the rest of the folks that they meet with. You know, what's your marketing strategy? Folks, if you're just gonna throw it on the MLS and do an open house and call them every week, like make sure you give a detailed analysis of what that MLS listing does, what that open house does, and that other thing, like in detailed bullet points. But folks, if you have a more detailed plan, you wanna make sure that it's detailed out. Think of it like a resume and you're doing an interview. Be prepared, print it out. People like systems, people like processes. They wanna see that you have a system and that you just don't wing it like 90% of our peers, okay? I always have every single thing, 151-step home selling plan. In fact, I have this thing right here, sitting right here, a home seller guide we created. You don't have to have this. You have to have at least, I had a 1-page piece of paper for a decade, and I was already selling over 50 homes a year on my own before doing it with the team, and that's when we kind of just evolved. So always be improving and growing, okay? Next question, what do you charge? Folks, you're gonna have to evaluate what are you gonna charge these folks in a commission, okay? Make sure you're bringing that. What about a buyer's agent commission? Make sure you can give them information about the dynamics of it and maybe a recommendation. I had a property where we made an offer on it and they offered us a 1% commission back. And I just said, look, we found another property. Why? It made no sense for me on that specific property to take a 1% commission when a neighboring property, neighboring unit, same builder, same everything, was offering a full commission structure. It was literally the same property, just with different terms. So they're just help them understand the value of a commission and a sales agent, what the compensation model is and the laws behind it, okay? And finally, what makes you different? I wanna make sure that you understand that what makes you different, and part of that is hey, how involved are you at the closing? Are you gonna be walking them through everything A to Z? What are the things that you do specifically different that is going to assist them as opposed to somebody that is just a unique buyer, okay? And when I say unique buyers, they have somebody that you're essentially assisting them through the process. Folks, if you have any questions about what the questions you should ask, you just gotta be prepared because more and more people are interviewing multiple people, but you need to be prepared. So if you have any questions of what you should say, how you should say it, please call us today, we'll help you out. Thanks.